health care reform, the major package, would not be done through reconciliation. That would be unreasonable. But that's not going to happen here.
This whole bill cannot be passed on reconciliation. It will be the budget elements of the bill with a simple majority vote.
The only possible role that I can see for reconciliation would be make modest changes in the major package. It would be on sidecar issues designed to improve what passed the Senate and what would have to pass the House for health care reform to move forward.
Health care reform has already passed both the House and the Senate with not only a majority in the Senate, but a supermajority. And we're not talking about changing any rules here. All the President's talking about is, do we need to address this problem, and does it make sense to have a simple up or down vote on whether or not we want to fix these problems?
Since 1980, there have been 16 times that reconciliation was used under a Republican-controlled Senate, and there were 6 times under a Democrat-controlled Senate.
Just because it's been used before for lesser issues doesn't mean it's appropriate for this issue.
If Speaker Pelosi rams through this bill through the House using the reconciliation process, they will lose their majority in Congress.
There are a number of other Democrats who do not think something of this magnitude ought to be jammed down the throats of a public that doesn't want it.
Robert Byrd, who actually wrote the reconciliation rule, has said that its application in this case would be an outrage that must be resisted.
Social Security cannot be considered in reconciliation. We should do the same thing with Medicare. Lindsey Graham and I will be introducing legislation. Entitlements should not be part of a reconciliation process.
Are the votes there?
When we start counting, the votes will be there.
Do you have the votes or not, Senator Menendez?
I think we will get to that point where we will have the votes.
Do you have the votes?
I believe that we will have the votes to pass this in Congress.
When it does finally come to vote on it in the House, you're certain that you can muster the 217 votes that you need?
We have a very diverse party, but we all agree that the present system is unsustainable.
On the reconciliation issue, if they had the votes, we wouldn't have had the summit.